Bill Gates, he's in China. Let's put it in perspective. So technically, as Eunice mentioned, it's philanthropic. He's there representing his foundation. How meaningful is this really when it comes to political ramifications and also business?
It's a good question, Frank. Look, I think that the Gates visit is probably a little bit different than some of the other CEOs that we talked about, given that he's there in his philanthropic role. But look, it's clear that the Chinese want to use this meeting to signal, I would say, first and foremost, to the global business community that China is open for business, that the de-risking or decoupling or China plus one approach, which we've been hearing so much about, is perhaps overblown as how we can take a look at some of these statements. And I think Eunice makes a point here, Frank, that trying to use the business community to impact China policy going forward is an old playbook that China may be returning to. But I think that Washington has changed a lot since that playbook was effective for the Chinese. So my advice to CEOs would be to travel to China. There's legitimate reasons to do that, to reestablish relationships with local stakeholders, customers, employees. But there's no substitute for government-to-government relations, which is what we need between the U.S. and China. And I don't think that they should be bringing Beijing's water back to Washington. I don't believe that Washington is really open to hear that, especially things like technology cooperation.
All right, very interesting, because we've been calling this a charm offensive, and that, basically these CEOs are kind of working as diplomats. So as we mentioned, Bill Gates, that's just the latest CEO to come visit. Just a minute ago, we were showing a wall of different CEOs that went to visit. Elon Musk calling the China-U.S. relationship symbiotic. The Starbucks CEO saying the possibilities are limitless. So just kind of very effusive conversation there from these different CEOs. For investors, when it comes to these goodwill tours, is there any downside or upside that they should be aware of?
No, look, I think talking is good. Like I said, these trips may get blowback here in Washington politically, but it makes sense for CEOs to go to China to look at the market, to assess for themselves where economic policy is going. China's changed a lot since there's been the COVID hiatus. So it makes sense. And I think there's some positive things that can happen as a result of these trips for businesses, for investors. My caution, though, is that CEOs, as much as corporate diplomacy is good, is no replacement for government-to-government relations and official diplomacy. That would be my message, right?
Let's talk just a little bit more macro, turning to economic concerns. A number of major banks, we're talking about Bank of America, we're talking about J.P. Morgan. They're cutting their China GDP forecast between 5 and about 5.5%, somewhere around there, following a string of weak economic reports. At the same time, we're seeing Chinese equities really spike, at least month to date. They've been part of this broader rally. You want to look at the K-Web. I was looking at the MCHI ETF, the broader China ETF earlier, also outperforming. What's your outlook with this kind of disconnect between what we're seeing in the economy and what we're seeing with the equities?
Yeah, it's hard to figure out how investors are looking at China. Most economists are looking at China, and I also share this view of many economists, as an economy that is absolutely stalling post-COVID opening. And a lot of that, Frank, is because the policy and the problems are been in a mixed match. So what we really need is policies that restore confidence, increase household income, find a way to employ the youth in China. What we're seeing is more credit facilities being available, and that's not exactly, easing is not going to fix China's economic problems. The right fiscal policies in some circles is what is going to do that, but Beijing has been reluctant to do that. So I think this continues to slow as we move into the second half of the year, despite all of the rosy outlook that we see from the markets.